Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is the PAPAJO show, where I am your host, Papa Joe. Thank you for being here. Sorry about that. Just kind of been an interesting morning for me trying to get my wheels been kind of spinning around a bunch of different things, but it's been a fun morning so far for sure. It is officially afternoon here where I am at on the East Coast, but I wanted to come on here and have a fun time with you all. So today, first things first, do me a favor, smash the likes if you like the content on the shows. Um, Also, if you wouldn't mind sharing this out on your socials so that we can maybe have other people come into the live show, join in a live chat. It's always fun when you know someone in live chat, you have a conversation with them. It's actually pretty cool because you can have back and forth and everything like that. It's a lot of fun. Um, so if you wanna do that, I would greatly appreciate it. Help me grow the channel, get some more subscribers on board, and yeah, the more the merrier. The more that have this type of content, this kind of I get my words right, this type of information can be very beneficial for people to just have a slight different understanding of what's taking place, who's doing what, how things are working, and have the perspective of somebody who has been in both technology and in crypto for a long time. I've been in crypto since nearly the beginning, was one of the earlier miners. So having that type of background and then also the business acumen, and then just the knowledge and background, and come to be able to talk to and or speak to all kinds of different things. So it's beneficial, I think. I would not be spending the time on it, to be honest with you, if I didn't think it was worth it, and or that other people needed to hear this type of information. So with that, also I have a Patreon show every day at 4:30, and today's Patreon show I will be interviewing Clint Westwood. He and I are going to have a conversation. We're just going to off the cuff it, have a fun conversation around crypto, freedom, and I don't know, whatever else comes up, regulation, inflation, stuff like that, things like that. So, anyways, if you're not part of the Patreon, it's $5 a month. It's not a lot. It's the beginning of the month. That's when everything processes. So now would be a really good time to jump in. A lot of people do. They either jump in or jump out at the beginning of the month, and that it is fine. If you don't like the content there, totally get it. By all means, I would not want you to put anything up, if you will, for that if it was not worth it or worth your time. So, but I will be doing an interview with Clint Westwood this afternoon at 4:30 Eastern. On the Patreon show. And then I'll give it a couple days to let it marinate, if you will, and then I will probably maybe do a Saturday restream or something of that. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't done anything on Saturdays or anything like that on my regular show here. It's not typically something I do, but something like that, people may enjoy that. I don't know. So you guys let me know in the chat here if that's something you want to do. Would like to see something like that. So I always love talking to you all. So speaking of talking and speaking with you all, let's see, who do we have in the chat here? Looks like it's a busy one so far. You guys are amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it that you guys are in. So what do you got here? Busy Mountain. Good morning, my friend. How are you doing? Regulators could not regulate how the dollars were used. Unlikely they will control crypto. They can't control crypto, and we'll get into that in a minute. So it's fun conversation. So Tom, good morning, my friend. How are you doing, buddy? Let's see, who else do we have here? I will go ahead and pull this up too. Busy Mountain's a very good point. This is all funneling down to the issue of freedom. It is exactly what it's funneling down to. When you understand what they use with the banks, how the banks work, you understand that this has everything to do with your freedom, your money, and how you needs to be in your control, and not the crooked regulator. That regulators aren't really, they're an unelected. Most of them are unelected officials and unelected uh, positions in general. Usually they just get appointed by whoever's there. So, anyways, let's keep going here. Paulo Post. Yeah, Post. How are you doing, my friend? Good day to you as well. Let's see. Positive blood flow. Good morning. How's it going? Oh, hey, perfect. Thanks for popping in, Joanna. Let's see here. Hey, good morning. Good to see you. Appreciate you popping in. Let's see, who else do we have here? Uh, uh yeah. Paulo, thanks for popping in. It is, I'm sure it's cold. It's cold here in the U.S. too. Thanks for popping in from the U.K. It's pretty cool stuff. Let's see here. Uh, let's see who else is in the chat here. Da, 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 da. I like to say good morning to everyone. Badass Accountant, good morning. What's going on? How are you? Thanks for popping in. Da, 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 da. I'm. Let's see. Wow, we got a lot of people. In here. Bitcoin Management Jim, what's up, brother? How are you doing? Trinity Man, how's it going? And we've got Bitcoin Bull. You're not late. I haven't really started. I'm just saying hey to everyone. Good morning, Daddy O. What are you doing? How you doing today? Let's see what else we got here. Larry, what's going on, brother? How are you doing? Clint Westwood. This gentleman will be interviewed on the Patreon show at 4:30 this afternoon. If you know Clint, it's gonna be a good, fun conversation. So let's see who else do we have here. I think, well, we got Rick. What's up, Rick? How's it going, brother? Good morning. How are you doing today? It has been a good day so far. Anyways, I am going to go ahead and jump into the show here, and we'll kind of talk through what's going on in the world of regulators and them trying to push and ram this stuff down our throats, and they forget the fact that they can't. They're going to try to. They're going to try to trick the American people, just like they tricked the American people to thinking that they have to legally pay their income taxes. Again, on the show, I talk about taxation, I talk about cryptos and financial stuff, and I talk about economics, and I brought some legal stuff. So I like to really dig into a lot of different things because it all connects. But nothing I say on the show is to be construed as any advice. Do your own research. Please do not take anything I say in the show as nothing else but ideas and entertainment or education. So, anyways, I just want you guys to understand that what's coming down the pipe here, they thought and tried to trick everyone that to pay your income taxes. And you need to be charged to be all this stuff that you have to be charged on your labor, on your output. If it was a legal thing, if it was a law, it would be considered, you would be considered legally a slave because we're paying taxation, we're paying taxes, we're paying on our output. It's fun times, fun times. I genuinely love talking about this stuff because it's so funny. The world is waking up. They're starting to see what's actually happening out there. They're starting to see that they're really getting screwed over by these people. They really, really are. And they're starting to learn that places like the Federal Reserve is a privately owned bank, or like the daggum IRS is private company as well. Basically, it's the collection agency for the Federal Reserve. That's what they are. And anyways, some taxation makes sense. I mean, I get it. There are certain things that make sense. But the way our system is set up, the way that the banking system is set up, the way the Federal Reserve is set up, the way that the Congress is set up, how they do all their stuff. I talk about that more on my Patreon. That's more stuff that I need to be careful on what I say out here because, well, it's the truth. And that's why I do the Patreon. It's so that I can have a unfiltered time of conversation where I don't have to be concerned about the video staying online. If it gets pumped online, I could just stand up another stupid channel and keep right on going because it goes through the Patreon. So, anyways, those are the types of things that we do on that one. So, let's see, who do we got here? We got positive blood flow. This is a very good point. What is taxes are voluntary? Yes, exactly. Got to think about that subject. It says tax, it's a voluntary tax system. They will literally tell you this. Congress will tell you this. Senators will tell you this. The daggum IRS will tell you this. Thank you for voluntarily paying your taxes. They have to, otherwise you're considered a slave. Unfortunately, that is the crux of the problem there. Just need to pay attention. Let's see here. All right, so we're gonna pop into. If I can get this button to work, sometimes it freezes. It's frozen, so it'll pop on in just a second. Ah, there it goes. Stupid thing. I need to figure out maybe something else for this. Anyways, alrighty then. So let's look at crypto today. It looks like we got up above 39,000. Once we get up above 40,000, I don't think there's a lot of resistance anymore. We'll see. I don't know. But it'd be interesting. You guys just saw 56,000 just hit right there. I don't know. Can you all see that? You should be able to see it. I'm trying to figure out how to get this a little bigger so y'all can see it. Is that better doing it that way? Let me adjust the screens here. That should work. Maybe, can y'all see that better? You probably can. I hope you can. It really made my screen weird. Whatever. We're going to go with it. How's that sound today? So we've got a wonderful, wonderful runs and jumps and ups and downs. Got the Dow Jones is barely up, literally on the day, barely. You've got crypto that's up, several $100s. You've got I think this is the NASDAQ. It's technically down. S&P 500 is up just a little bit. The reason I bring these up is because they seem to be correlated, and I don't like that personally. I really don't appreciate the fact that these are actually correlated. But it is what it is because you've got a lot of institutional players in here. If you want institutional people to be involved in the thing, they're going to play it like they have been forever in an institutional environment. Just be aware of that. The problem is that people are going to start realizing that the dollar is worth nothing. And when the dollar is worth nothing, they're not going to go out of the dollars anymore. They're going to go into crypto. And I bring this up often. Look at Turkey. The Turkey lira has failed. They didn't go buy gold. They didn't go buy dollars. They went and buy Bitcoin. Anywho, man, I love it when you guys have an amazing conversation in the chat. It goes by so fast I can't even keep up. So, they're going to talk about this again. Yeah. So a year ago, there was an averted, controversial monitoring rule that was now back on the Treasury's radar. A lot of people, we use these wallets that are non-KYC effectively, right? Think about Exodus, think about Jack's Liberty, think about Trust Wallet, stuff like that. The Treasury will consider, again, imposing KYC regulations on transactions involving self-custodian or custodied, whatever, wallets. Good luck, people, because they're going to literally set it up on a daggone blockchain. It is a blockchain. What are they going to do? Realistically, how are they going to enforce this? This is something that I want everyone here in my show and anyone who watches this to understand. Please. Blockchain technology, when you understand the fundamentals of having a system that is quite literally everywhere and yet nowhere, you need to understand what that means. It means that it cannot be turned off. It means that it cannot be shut down. It means that they cannot go and knock on someone's door and shut it down. And you got people who are Bitcoin maxis like, yeah, that works for Bitcoin, but nothing else. No. They can stop the main project from developing and continuing building, adding new features, patching, things like that. But they cannot stop the rest of the world from taking that open source software and continuing to build and develop it. Just pay attention and realize that this is something they're going to try again to do. As the Department of Treasury has announced in its regulatory agenda for the fiscal year of January 31st, many in the Web3 space have likely experienced flashbacks to December 2020, when the agency had first proposed to impose Know Your Customer, or KYC, rules on transactions that involve self-custodian crypto wallets. The Treasury Semi-Annual Agenda on Regulatory Plan is a document that meant to inform the public of the department's ongoing rulemaking activities and encourages the public feedback. I'm going to drop this in the chat for you all because the link right there for the agenda is there. It would be absolutely amazing if everyone here and other places went in and said, no, don't touch it. Just saying. It should be interesting. when we come in and by force, like the truck. How do I say that without this video getting flagged? The mass amount of people up north in the cold who are gathering to say no to something. Basically, we need to do the same thing here. That's exactly what happened before when they had this happen. Effectively, when they were told, when they said they were going to do this, what ended up happening, a substantial, they're basically, oh wait, I want to read that in a second. Sorry, still dealing with allergies. It literally goes through it here in a second. I need to figure out where it is. Basically, the reason they never did it is because the public lashed out and said no. And that's really what ended up happening. So what they're trying to do right here, just to put this into perspective, at the time, Mnuchin said that the rule addressed substantial national security concerns. How in the crap are they trying to tie? Oh, I get it. Notice the sarcasm. Cryptocurrency negates the need for the dollar. They control the dollar, therefore they control the economy. They control the dollar, and that is the world reserve currency, therefore they control the global economy. Do you really think, yeah, that could potentially be a national security problem for them? But we, the people, have a different thought in mind. We, the people, are going to take control of our own financial systems, and we have effectively built our own financial system, and we are going to negate the need for any of that stuff anymore. We don't need the dollar. Those of you who are unaware, the Crypto Confidential launched today. And if you are not signed up, the link scrolling at the bottom of the screen, and it is linked in the description of the channel. The only reason I'm bringing this up is because living that crypto life, those are some things that they actually get into in those articles. There's many other things that they get into in those articles. Those of you who are part of that, thank you for signing up. Sure does help the channel out, helps me out, stuff like that. If you guys don't mind, click on that link and sign up for it. But it is worth what you're investing because of what I just said. People being able to live life just using crypto is something that's not exactly well known. Those who are pioneering it are some of the people who are writing those articles. Think about it. It's seriously something to really really consider. Those of you who have signed up, thank you. Anyways, I digress. Let's see here. Oh yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah. There we go. This is what I was going to. The researchers at the agency's focus on the self-hosted wallets measures could have to do with the crypto as a national security threat, focus in the executive order that the flashbang administration has for reportedly preparing. Let's see what that does. If you guys don't mind me winging this part right now. This was written a couple days ago. The House reportedly preparing an executive order on crypto. The flashbang administration is expected to issue an order that would make government agencies begin conducting risk analysis on cryptocurrency as a national security threat. Guys and gals, they can't touch it. China's tried. India's tried. They've tried taxing it. You can't. I'll get into it in a second here. The SEC is mad at MicroStrategies for some stuff. You can't stop this. Flashbang's White House is expected to issue an executive order in the coming weeks about actions the U.S. government will take regarding digital assets. A source familiar with the White House's plan told Barron's that the executive order would issue a national security memorandum. Now, last time this knucklehead issued anything, what happened? They legally, from a legal standpoint, again, this is not legal advice, but from a legal standpoint, this cannot actually be done because they don't issue cryptocurrency. It's money. They can't stop money that isn't theirs. It doesn't work that way. The reason they can't sanction it is because of blockchain technology. The reason they can't shut it down is because of blockchain technology. The reason they can't stop it or hinder it is because of blockchain technology. Because the reason they can't tax it is because of blockchain technology. That's why they're trying to go after the non-custodial wallets because of blockchain technology. The technological advancements blockchain gives to humanity is incredible. When humanity is just now starting to realize what blockchain technology is and how it works, cryptocurrency just happened to be the very first use case, real world use case that went live on the blockchain. Just understand, please. They're going to try to trick the American people into submitting to this crap. They're not, you guys and gals, do not let them be successful. I'm not. Already working on the proper structures to make sure that it's there. Can't do anything about it. Paulo, exactly. I saw that just before this as well. India announced that they would tax 30% on sales today. Yes, they did. It's going to be crazy. So, here's something else. How to prevent the coming sovereign debt crisis. This is why they're doing this, guys and gals. They need to maintain control of the monetary system because they created a problem that if it ever stops, because we decide to let crypto soak up all of the debt that they printed, the dollars that they printed, we have control. They don't. It's actually one of the main reasons they're doing this. Achieving the greater transparency on the size, terms, and conditions of obligations is one important place to start. Now, let me stop there for a second. The way that this is, I kind of explained it a little bit in past shows. For those of you who are new, I'll kind of touch it again real quick. And y'all can't even read that, can you? I'm sorry. Stupid banner on the bottom of whatever. The way that the system is set up is that Congress goes and creates a bill. They ask for money. They don't go to the Treasury. They go to the Federal Reserve, which is a privately owned bank. The Federal Reserve then issues debt with interest immediately on it. So the dollars they give you, you can never actually, it's immediately slapped with debt. So if they give you $1 million, you need $1,500,000, $500,000. I don't know, whatever. The debt, the interest, you could never fully pay back, basically, is what I'm saying. Okay. That debt is then placed in the backs of the American people. That's why you pay taxes. Your taxes don't go to pay to the Treasury. They don't go to pay for roads and bridges. No. It pays the interest on the debt. Now, the reason that there's such a big looming problem with the way the interest discussions for the Federal Reserve raising the rates is because those rates are going to cause issues for sovereign nations to pay back the debts they owe to us. Let me say that again. Actually, I'm going to read right there. This year is likely to prove very difficult for those low-income and emerging market countries that have been heavy borrowers in the sovereign debt market. A series of crises concentrated in these countries seems vitally inevitable. Do you understand? It's not just us paying the interest on the debt. Other countries are indebted to our nation as well, to the Federal Reserve, for that matter. So when they raise the rates, this is why they're so afraid of crypto. Crypto, it's like a leaky boat. Let's put it that way. This is a good way to put this. The Federal Reserve wants all the money to go through a single hole they've created in the boat. Well, on the other side of the boat, because the boat's sinking, okay, they want all the money they can get out of the boat or into the boat, the water into the boat, whatever. They want all of it. They want it to sink through this one hole. Just understand, when they sink through this one hole, that's what the Federal Reserve wants. On the other side of the boat, they forget that they hit a water mine and it blew an even bigger hole. But that hole is crypto. So the boat's going to sink on that side. It's going to absorb more water on that side because it's a bigger hole. They're trying to stop that leak because they want it to be leaked through the small little hole, which is through the Federal Reserve. The interest rates as they go up, that means that they need more of your tax dollars to pay that debt. They need more returns from other countries to pay back through that little hole. That's how the bankers who own the Federal Reserve make their money, just so you understand. It's a really messed up system. So I have gone into detail on my Patreon of who's doing that, who's behind the Federal Reserve, and who they're all connected to and what all they own and things like that. Well, I believe I see. Let's see here. Good morning, John. Didn't see you pop in. Thanks for popping in. We've got Lisa Davis in the house. Litecoin Lisa, what is going on? Trying to get back into know. Hope you're doing well. And everything's going on, Lisa. Everything. It's been crazy. But you definitely understand that. And my heart goes out to you all. We've been praying for you. So it has been very, very, very interesting to pay attention to how this system works. Now, this is going to start seeing, you're going to start seeing this show up a lot more here soon. The SEC objects to MicroStrategy accurately valuing its billion-dollar Bitcoin stash. So the way they, you can't even see that again, can you? Wow, how do I can't even read it because it's so big. Let's see here. So effectively, the way Mike Saylor and his team at MicroStrategies valued their crypto, it's actually very intriguing to me. Let's see here. Crypto classified on. Let's see. According to the white paper issued by the AICPA, crypto assets cannot be classified as cash or cash equivalents on the GAAP financial statements. I don't know what those are, so I got to do some research on those. The reason I want to talk about this is because financial statements, because they are not backed by a sovereign government or considered legal tender. They cannot be classified as financial instrument or a financial asset because they are not cash, see above Y, and do not represent any contractual right to receive cash or another financial instrument. According to, additionally, since cryptocurrencies are intangible, they do not classify, or they do not clearly meet the definition of inventory and cannot be labeled as inventory on the balance sheet either. Well, dadgum. There are a lot of loopholes they're pulling here because there's no definition legally. It's beautiful. Thank you, Badass Accountant, for pointing that out. GAAP, I guess, are standardized reports that are used in audits, mainly in publicly traded audits. Fantastic. Thank you for bringing that up. Anyways, I thought it was funny. They have all of these crypto, and then they're like, we're not paying tax on it because guess what? It's not classified as anything. How do you want me to do this, basically? It's beautiful. It is amazing. This is what I'm getting at, people. This is what I'm getting at. Cryptocurrency cannot be controlled, cannot be technically taxed, cannot be technically shut down, cannot be regulated because it is outside of their system. It's like the national sovereigns or the sovereign nationals, whatever they're called, where in the Constitution, we the people is a preamble to the Constitution, which means you, the individual, are supposed to be outside of the construct of that system. So in Admiralty law and all that stuff, those of you who know what I'm talking about, great. I don't want to get into that kind of in depth on that with this. It would not be good for the video would come down, and we're having a great time. I don't want that to happen. So that's a Patreon discussion. But just to kind of put it into perspective, it is sovereign in and of itself. Cryptocurrency is. It is sovereign, and in other words, it is outside of the system that is in set up and to control the monetary system as it is. Because it is outside of that, because of blockchain technology, it cannot technically fall inside of the system as it is. They could try to make it fit in the system. They could try to make it they deceive you in thinking that it is part of the system or it fits in some way, but it actually doesn't. It is sovereign to the system as it is. It is sovereign. Just like you. You're supposed to be. But anyways, that's a discussion for a different day. I'm still learning that stuff. I don't feel adequately educated to speak on it. So, yes. Bad accountant requesting here. Can you share the Forbes link? And I am going to share that right here. You would probably actually appreciate that for what you do for sure. So there you are. It is there. It is in the live chat. If you're watching, it's towards there. So there, down there. Anyways, so let's see, what do we got? Let's scroll through the chat here. Fantastic, cool. Pretty much caught up. So, anyways, with that, everyone, I have a meeting literally right now. I am late for, so I will go ahead and cut it here. Again, this afternoon at 4:30 Eastern, I am going to be interviewing Clint Westwood. We're going to have an off the cuff kind of conversation today about I don't know what. We'll see. It's kind of the way I do stuff. Those of you know, I only have 30 minutes to prepare for these shows, and I get everything up and running in 30 minutes, and then run with it. And I try to be real with you. That's the whole point, right? Anyways, you all have a wonderful and blessed day, and I will see you at 4:30 for the Patreon show. Yeah, scroll. It's in the link. It's linked in the description of the channel. It's scrolling on the bottom of the screen if you want to be part of it and hear that interview. We will talk to you all later. Take it easy.